All right, let's do this. Okay, we're recording. I forgot that I was the host today. So yes, 3 different divisions. So photography. So we do everything from agent bio videos, walkthrough videos, listing photography, headshots, iGuide virtual tour, all this cool stuff that agents need when they have a listing. We also have a graphic design department. So we have our own in-house graphic design where we do everything from branding, logo design, feature sheets, for sale signs, business cards, all that stuff as well. And then social media, which we are going to learn about today with the wonderful Tammy Hudgen, who is here with us today. So why social media? So we've really started to buckle down on this whole social media thing. And it's because we need it, right? Where is our online presence today? It's everywhere since, the last year and almost 2 years with COVID. Many agents are jumping online. I know for myself, I have a Facebook account and I think an Instagram account that has 1 post on it because I need help. That's what Tammy's here for, right? So she's gonna share with us all kinds of cool tips and tricks. We are also, for everybody that is on here today, we're going to share a really cool tangible gift with you at the end. There's going to be a discount at the end. Jen, what else? What else am I missing here?
I think you covered it all.
Okay, great. So without delaying any longer, I'm going to introduce Tammy. So I actually have a written biography about Tammy because there's so much to know about her. And I just want to make sure that I get everything covered. So Tammy's a go-to girl for Facebook and all other platforms and social media, okay? She's been navigating professionally for 15 years. So she started when she was 12, right? Tammy's core belief is that if we focus on creating our presence, we can succeed in building notoriety on any platform, which is so important. Tammy's love affair with social media started when she began exploring its effectiveness for her direct sales business, which led her to launch a career teaching Facebook and managing social media accounts for others. The coolest part about Tammy is that she now lives in a mountain. So she's moved from the GTA and she lives 4,000 feet up in a mountain in a small ski village in the interior of BC. So before we get started with anything on social media, Tammy, please tell us more about that.
Yeah. And thank you for the intro. I appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I spent most of my life in Ontario. I'm originally from Nova Scotia, but I was raised my children in Ontario. But during the first and second lockdown, we decided, my boyfriend and I, to pack whatever we could fit in a vehicle. And we moved out to this mountain resort. We live in a condo, literally at the bottom of a ski hill in Panorama, BC. And it's just honestly spectacular. And I can't imagine coming back to Ontario. I just can't. This is just, you can't compare this to anything. It's so spectacular. And as a hobby, I'm a photographer. So you can imagine how much fun I have when I go out for the day with a camera in hand. So yeah, it's pretty cool here. So welcome, guys, for having me. Thank you for having me and welcome. We're going to talk some different things about social media. Unfortunately, we don't have a week to sit and for me to teach you at all. So we have some key elements that we're going to talk about that I think they are important for you to know in understanding how to move forward with your social media. So the first thing to start with is algorithms, because they are the key to absolutely anything you do in any platform. Okay, so whether it's LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook, those are the 3 platforms you guys should be looking at. I don't feel that enough real estate agents are taking advantage of LinkedIn, especially if you're in the commercial industry or if that's your market. That
Sorry, Tammy, can you unmute yourself? That was my fault.
Got it. That's okay. So if you're involved in commercial real estate, then you'll want to come up with some type of a marketing plan for LinkedIn. It is truly a great platform that you can work, and you don't have to work it to the extent of something like Instagram or Facebook. Those two platforms need a lot more work than LinkedIn. So just put that in the back of your head to really think about how LinkedIn might be able to play. And it's not just about commercial. LinkedIn has a lot of executives. So you're going to come into those age demographics of people getting ready to retire and so forth. And of course, with what we've gone through with COVID, some people could be downsizing because they want to move further out of the city or whatever it might be. So you might want to keep an eye on those type of people on the LinkedIn platform, because they could be a key element for you. So algorithms is the key to anything you do. The algorithms is a computer system that each platform has developed. And the algorithms will go through and measure you based on what you're putting out, so what you're posting, and the type of engagement you get, but also the type of engagement you are doing. This isn't just about getting engagement coming to you. You have to give the engagement as well. So what the algorithm does, for example, if I was talking just Facebook, okay, and we were looking at our personal timeline, every time I put a post out, Facebook's going to look at the post, and they're going to, in their computer system, they're going to figure out who are the people that usually on a regular basis engage with Tammy. Those people is who we're going to push her post out to in the news feed. Okay. They'll also look and say, well, who is Tammy engaging with regularly? Let's push it out to the people that Tammy is interested in as well. So it goes both ways. Who's engaging with you and who are you engaging with? And that is how your algorithms work, in the sense of taking your content and getting it in front of more people. So when we talk about Facebook, the algorithms are prioritized. So the best place where your algorithms are just going to be 100% in your favor, in essence, is your personal timeline on Facebook. No matter what you do on there, Facebook's algorithms will always reward you. The biggest bang for your buck is your personal timeline. From there, of course, is business pages. However, with business pages, you need to understand, this is where the struggle is. Organically, the algorithm, when you do a post on your business page, will only push it out to 1% of your following. Now, this is a catch-22. If we know that it's only going to push it out to 1% of my following, okay, and I have 100 followers, nobody's really seeing anything. And how you can measure that is under every post you do on your business page, right underneath on the left, it'll say number of people reached. That's the number. That's the key right there. If anything that you measure, the one thing that I want to make sure you measure is that number. That number grows based on engagement. So when you first put a post out, the algorithm's only going to give you 1% organic reach, meaning it'll look at your followers and push you out to 1%. As your post gets more engagement, a like, a comment, or a share, those are the three activities that will trigger algorithms to start working in your favor. So as those elements start to happen on any of your posts, the algorithms will then push you out to even more people. Every single time you get an engagement, it will push you out again and again and again. So you know when you're going through your news feed and you see a post, and tomorrow you log in and you see the same post, that's because there's probably activity happening on that post. And because you regularly engage with Tammy, Facebook's going to keep pushing that post into your feed until you acknowledge it. Eventually it'll disappear, but it'll take a while. It'll take a couple of days, but you'll notice that it keeps coming back into your feed. And you're like, why do I keep seeing this post? Because there's activity happening and Facebook keeps pushing it back to you. So keep an eye on those kind of things, because those are trigger points. So if algorithms are the key, there are things that need to happen to keep those algorithms always in your favor, or at least working for you. Now, I'm going to tell you right off the bat, do not look at me as an example. And the reason I say that is I've done all of this. Everything that I teach, literally everything I teach, I have done. I've applied. I have reached a point in my business where I no longer have to be so active with my social media. Okay. My algorithms are still pretty good in my favor. So I can get away with not as much consistency, but I've been working this for 15 years. Okay. So to get there, you got to work it. So if I know that like, comments, and shares are the trigger points, and as a side note, Facebook, rumor has it that Facebook is going to eliminate the reaction element from the algorithms. So when we like something or we love something, they'll still be there as an option, but they won't be counted in algorithms. So that means we're now come down to comments and shares. That's it. That's what's going to trigger the algorithms to get on fire and start pushing your content to more people. That's where you can help yourself. Shares are always going to be your biggest bang for your buck when it comes to algorithms. No matter what you do, it will give you the most visibility. Now, you want to keep in mind, algorithms don't reward business pages. They only reward people. So if I'm going to share something from my business page into either a group or onto my personal timeline, in a message, on a friend's timeline, you have all of those options available to you. If I want to do that, I need to make sure I do it as Tammy, not my business page. So when I do, no joke, if I could do 3 to 5 shares, okay, Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays, 3 days a week, and I did 3 to 5 shares. Key point, be aware if you're sharing into groups, always read the rules, make sure you're not spamming, make sure you know when you can share your business page posts. But if I was to do 3 to 5 shares, 3 days a week, do you know that number of people reached? You will start to see it hit around the 350 mark. And it took you, what, 2 minutes, maybe, to share out your post into 3 different groups, 5 different groups, and yet your impact will be significant. So you want to incorporate something like that into a regular routine until you get your page to that growth. I don't really share anymore. I'll share the random post into my VIP group, but other than that, I don't, and I still get my reach that I need. But you need to build that. So the share will always give you the most visibility from an algorithm, and then comments. So here's some tricks for you guys to get your algorithms working. You want your posts to be seen? You need to engage, and you can be strategic. Remember at the beginning, I said that the algorithms will reward you for engaging, but also the people engaging back. So if I have a listing, a real estate listing, and I want to get visibility to it, if I post it on my business page, I'm going to want to share it onto my personal timeline. Now, if I just went and did that, I probably wouldn't get a lot of visibility. It'll probably just be floating. But if I was strategic and 10 minutes before I go and share that onto my personal timeline, if I spent 10 minutes of doing strategic engagement, I can't guarantee it, but I can almost guarantee that my post of that real estate listing will probably show up in their news feed of the people I'm engaging with. So who do you want to see that post? Make a list of those people and make a point of going and engaging with them 10 minutes before you share your post on your personal timeline. Okay, so what's going to happen is as you do those engagements, and I want you to comment if you can, do as much as you can, comment on someone's stuff as opposed to reacting. What will happen, they will receive a notification that you commented. Odds are they're probably going to respond in some form, which gets your algorithms kind of working for you right at that moment, going, oh, look, Jen and Tammy are chatting. Do you know, even when you're having conversations in Messenger, that's also picked up? So if you're active with someone in Messenger, they'll see more of your content as well. Everything you do, if you're active with someone in a group that happens to be on your friends list, and you're active with them in the group, they will still see more of your stuff from your personal in their feed. The more active you are from an engagement standpoint, the more the algorithms will help you. Okay? We're good on algorithms, right? Because this is key. Algorithms is what's going to drive absolutely everything that you do. no matter what platform you work with. So you need to understand how algorithms work, and you need to make them work in your favor. Organically, they're only going to hit a certain percentage. If you do nothing, if you are invisible on social media, the algorithms will eventually just do nothing for you. Okay. So having said that, I need to get engagement. It is the key. We all know that. Most people don't like using business pages anymore because they feel that they're not getting the visibility. If you work the system, if you utilize the features that Facebook, or I'm referring to business pages on Facebook, but this applies to any platform. If you utilize the features that are available to you and take advantage of what you know and how to manipulate the system, then you can get the visibility and the engagement you need. But to get that going, I need to talk about content. Content is key. And because I've been doing this for so long, I can't tell you the number of people I have physically trained. Okay. It's like in the thousands. It's crazy. But what's the common thing that I see? No matter how I teach, no matter what people learn, everybody has the same content. Nobody stands out anymore, right? Nobody's different, right? How do I know who you are if all we do is focus on selling? If all we do is focus on posting real estate listings? How do I know who you are? Right? How do I get to know you? How do I get to know my audience? So content is king. Content's going to drive everything that you do leading into your algorithms. So when we talk about content, the number one element is video. No question. Video, video, video. We all know that video is huge. Rumor has it that Facebook is going to turn Instagram into a strictly video platform. So keep your eyes open for that, because now all of a sudden it changes the dynamics of what we were all doing in Instagram. So keep that in mind. So video is number one. Your algorithms will always reward you when you do video. At the top is going live, of course, and then recorded video. Then from there is doing written content with a visual. Starts with either a blank visual, meaning no words on it. So just like, I'm going to use a picture of a house, no words. Then you drop down and a house with a caption. And then you can start adding more content. Carousel, meaning multiple photos, work well. So here's a trick. If the algorithms reward me for engagement, and I know that when I click on something on that post, whether I click the see more button to continue reading, whether they've uploaded 2 photos, 3 photos, and I click on the photo to open it and I can see it, all those elements actually count as engagement. So the algorithms will mark you for that. They'll give you credit for that. So that's a little bit of a trick of the trade. Put up a couple of photos then. Force people to click and go through the photos, right? It's the same as the video. When they watch the video, that's being tracked. So that's engagement. So when we talk about that, video is huge with any platform, and even more so when it comes to Instagram, stories and reels. You can modify you can make this an easy process in essence if you're managing this yourself. You guys do have opportunities like companies like Elite Marketing who do give you an opportunity to work with you to reduce that workload, because reality is to manage it all can be difficult. So you could take on a role of going, let me master and understanding how to build myself on a personal level, and then outsource to get someone to handle the business side. So when we talk, because it's really important, when we talk about, if you were doing this on your own on Instagram, for example, I could create a 1-minute video, okay, with a tip in it. And I can post it on my Instagram feed, or I can choose to upload it into a reel. And you want to do that if you can, okay? Reels are probably the biggest bang for your buck on Instagram. Here's the key thing. If I upload it in as a reel, before you publish, they give you an option for you to have an excerpt of what you wrote pulled with a snippet of the video and have it published into your feed as well. Take advantage of that, because that'll come into your feed. People will click it, and when they do, it'll take them to the actual reel, which is where you're getting the most credit. Okay, so video is important. When we talk about video, I'm going to give you guys some ideas here. Okay, I talked about, how I have seen everybody's content, and I'm talking pretty much every industry. Everybody's the same, right? So how you bring that, and that's okay. It's not saying that it's wrong, but you want to bring some of your personal into that. So how do we do that? Who are you? What do your customers, your potential clients need to know about you? Of how do I work my business? How am I when it comes to customer service? Am I task oriented? What are some of my hobbies? What are some of, do I have a large network? What are the things about you and who you are and where you have your hands, pots sitting in, or whatever that saying is? How do you take that information now and actually get it out there? Create videos. Videos is great. Showcase yourself. Okay. So for example, I'm going to meet with a client. I'm going to show a potential buyer a home. I could stand in front of the front door, have the door open, and take a selfie of myself. Put it out on social media, on your personal, okay, Instagram, LinkedIn, wherever you want to put it, and tell them, I'm so excited. I'm meeting with a client, and maybe this is the 10th house that they're looking at. And you can talk a little bit about the process that you've had to go through to get, what is it that is missing? Why are they not finding that right house? What is it, is the client learning? Teach your audience the pros and cons of everything. Teach them, educate them on the process, but educate them on who you are. So here's some other examples. In the community, we focus as real estate agents, we focus on selling a house, okay? We don't focus on selling a community. So this will give you a different spin. Go out into the community and start doing some videos where you're showcasing the schools, showcasing recreation, parks. Are you in an area where there's lakes that people can go for walks? Are there trails? Where can I go for a nice romantic dinner with my husband? Where can I take my kids for a family dinner? What are some of the unique shops that are around? And you're going to go and you can either videotape this and talk about it, or you can do visuals, take photos. But anywhere that you go, educate the people on the community, sell them the community. And then what you do is anyone that's included in your video, a business or a person, when you go and put it out on social media, you're going to tag those people, tag their personal, tag their business page. It will help you get more visibility because now, what happens is those people you're tagging, they see it and it will go out into their friends' news feeds if they reply, or it will show up on their timeline. So other people will see you that way. So it's a great way to, it's a win-win. You're selling yourself through video or visuals of selfies. You're educating them and selling the community. You're introducing people to those in the community. Even who's your community members? Who are those volunteers that give so much to the community? Why not interview them? Ask them, why do you love it here? What is it that gets you to dedicate your time and go and help the community, right? The more you can get out there and get your face being seen, the more it ends up that you're selling this and not a house. And what happens is by doing that, you develop a following, whether it's through your personal, whether it's through groups, whether it's a business page, doesn't matter. You build a network of people that consist of clients, possible team members, if you plan on growing, or referrals. I honestly love it when I can get a notification that says, Tammy, you've been tagged, and I click it and it's someone referring me. And what I love even better is that when I go to it, other people have responded to that tag and said, yes, Yes, this is the girl, this is the girl, this is the girl. Because I have made a point of getting my face out there, and I don't stay within my area. I have got my face out there a lot further. So whether someone doesn't ever use my services, they know Tammy's the Facebook guru. That's who you tag. That's what I want you guys to develop. It's a lot of work to do it, but it needs to be done because competition is way too big. We're just little gaffers in this massive social media world. And we are not investing the type of money that some of the companies are that will give us the visibility we need. Now, having said that, I'm now going to jump over where you can take these videos and use them as an advantage from an ad standpoint. Okay. So ads, a lot of people do want to invest in ads, but you need to be very careful. I'm going to be straight up and honest with you guys. At no point will I ever say that if you hire me to do an ad, that you will get conversion. I will guarantee visibility and reach, but I never guarantee conversion. Ads is a very tricky space to start investing in. And usually we are not investing enough money to guarantee conversion. However, ads can still give you the visibility you need. So here's a cool thing you can do. Ads, there's two forms of ads, boosted posts and sponsored ads. Boosted posts means I'm taking an existing post on my business page and I'm going to boost it to get in front of more people. That's fantastic. If I'm going to do boosted posts, I will invest $20-25, run it for like 7 days. Simple. It will just get me into numbers. You'll hit about 2,000, 2,500 people with a $20 boosted post. It's probably about the approximate numbers. Now, when it comes to real estate, you guys are in a situation where when you fall into a special category. So you need to be aware of this when you go to create an ad, whether it's a boosted post or a sponsored ad, you must check special ads category. It'll be right at the top when you come into doing an ad, and then you're going to choose housing. If you don't do this, your ad will be rejected. So you want to make sure you turn this on. The downfall by turning this on is you no longer can control your demographics. Okay, this is a privacy security thing that came out. And so now Facebook controls it. So you don't have control on demographics, but at least you can get your posts in front of what Facebook claims is your ideal demographics. So that's for boosting a post. Where this comes into play, sponsored ads. I love sponsored ads. I tend to tell people just avoid boosted posts if you really want to do an ad. Sponsored ads, you get to create from scratch, and you have like, I don't know, 12 different objectives. Okay, so I'm going to use the example lead ads. All right, and this is how video is going to come into play as well. Boosted posts will come into play. I love this. So lead ads, the reason I do this one is I think it's a great one for real estate agents. Lead ads is an objective that Facebook offers you that allows you to physically get people's information and download it in an Excel spreadsheet right from Facebook. Yes. So when you create a lead ad, when you choose that specific option, you'll be able to create a built-in lead form within your ad. And when people click that blue button at the bottom of your ad, it will take them to the lead form that you've developed. It's built in, so you have to choose what's there, but it's perfect. So you can ask them whatever information you need, and then they enter the information, and then Facebook will provide you with a spreadsheet that you can download. Now, to get their information, you want to offer them something free, some type of free download. I recommend doing, maybe preparing your home to sell. Make it a couple pages. Don't do a one-page free download. If someone gets a one-page free download, they feel that you didn't give them enough value. If I took that one page, dropped in some photos to push it into 2 pages, different perception. I just gave you 2 pages. You now think I have given you more valuable information than the one pager. It's all the same content, no extra words. I just added in visuals. So think about that, okay? So a free download. So when you're writing the ad, you're encouraging them to fill out the lead form in order to get this free download. Okay, So, and I know I'm talking fast, guys. I want to cover a lot. Sorry. Okay, so here's a trick that I like to work with. If I know I'm going to put do a sponsored ad and I'm going to do a lead form and I want to start it December 1st. What I would do first is I would create 3 videos, quick videos between 1 to 2 minutes of valuable content, maybe a video introducing yourself. Who am I? What do I love? You know, what do I love about this community? Right? Come up with 3 types of videos. What you're going to do is you're going to create the videos. You're going to put them on your business page on Facebook, sprinkle them apart, spread them apart. So maybe a 3-day interval. And each one of those videos, I want you to boost it for $20. Run it for a couple of days, 3-4 days. You want all this to happen before December 1st because you're going to launch your lead ad December 1st. Okay, so when I do all 3 of those videos, I get them boosted. It's getting all the visibility. Do you know when I go to do, oh, you guys are real estate, I might not be able to do this. Oh God, I'll be upset if we can't do this. When you go to create your demographics, there's a custom, you can create a custom audience. I'm hoping you guys can do this. I apologize if you can't.
Tammy, is your
Oh.
concern the special ads category?
I'm concerned the special ads is going to prevent this.
I was just going to ask you that.
Yeah.
Okay. Yep.
I haven't done one yet to see if the special ads gets affected by this. But you can create a custom audience. And in that custom audience, I can actually target anyone who watched any of those videos. It will literally come up with a list of your videos and you put a checkbox next to the videos that you want Facebook to target those people. And when you target those people, you can then get Facebook to create what they call like a detailed expansion, where they take that existing audience and based on how your ad's doing, they will determine who else to push it out to. God, I don't know if we can do that with the special ads category. That's disappointing if we can't.
I'm wondering if it'll depend on the content.
Yeah.
If
If
they
you do
mention
it
the
so you're
word
not
real
mentioning,
estate,
yeah, exactly.
red flags. If they do it just, to advertise a community or something, I don't think they'll fall into
Yeah,
it.
right. It'll be interesting to know because it's a great strategy when you want to really get visibility on an ad. And if you've never done ads, you kind of really like it's sure I can go in there and say, okay, pick ages between this and anyone who likes this. But let's be honest, it's better if you understand your audience. And the best way to do that is through your business page. So the videos will help you at least to be able to utilize those if you're able to target them. I'm going to have to do an ad and see if I can do it with the special ads. That's really disappointing. Okay, so when it comes to content, guys, wherever you can, please think about doing video. I just think it's really important. And if you're not comfortable with that, you do have other sources that can provide video for you. Okay, and then I want to talk about, this is not a subject I like. I'm going to talk about following. Those who follow you. This is a game. It's been a game from day one. I remember when Facebook first started and the objective was to build up my number of following. So what's happened is, though, I want you to think about this for a second. And whether it's Instagram, LinkedIn, I wouldn't concern too much about. Okay, so we'll talk Facebook and Instagram for this. If I just went out and focused on building a following without any true strategic element to it, I might not be getting the right following. And how this will affect you is your algorithms. Remember, the algorithms is controlling who sees your posts. So if I've built a following that really isn't of value to me, my posts are just being wasted because the algorithm's pushing it wherever to 1% of people that don't even care. And here's what potentially will happen, especially in Facebook. They could click the 3 dots next to your post and hide you. They could choose to unfollow you. As soon as they do anything negative, the algorithms get flagged. The more negative flags you receive, the more your business page will be hindered. Okay. So I think it's important. We talk about following. I'm a firm believer in growing my following organically. I'm a believer that if you really put some extra effort into the personal side of building your business, you will grow your following to a number that is of value. However, if you're just starting out or your numbers are low and we need to get, things working, then build up your following the best way you can, even if some of it may not be legit at the time. It might just be the key you need to at least start building yours, especially Instagram. You can get away with that on Instagram. It's not going to hinder you as much. Instagram's much easier to, the algorithms. I wish Facebook, because they own both platforms, I wish they would just apply the same things. They give us much more freedom on Instagram. We get away. We don't go into Facebook jail, right? We don't get blocked from, if I sent too many messages, right? So Instagram, you have a lot more leeway and it's much easier to build a following on Instagram. Everybody's doing it. You can get your numbers up. But I just always want to remember, I think my message really is, I want you guys to always think about the value you're putting out there, the people you're choosing to have follow you in essence. It's not that you're choosing, but it's how you're marketing, right? It's how you're going out there and building things, who you're engaging with. All those kind of elements that you do will contribute to how your following grows. Now, LinkedIn is an easy one to grow a following. I do this for a lot of my clients where, and you can easily do this, is based on who the demographics are. I search connections. So sales director, I'll type in sales director in the connection, in the LinkedIn search feature. Then I click on people and I have, I think it's 300 characters. Yeah, 300 characters, which includes your spaces, commas. You can send a note to each new connection. I highly recommend you send a note. Just don't send a connection request, send a note. And I highly recommend you develop a note that is more generic. Don't go in as a sale. So I'll give you an example. One of my clients, we did it pretty simple. We wrote, I don't know the exact words, but we basically said, how do you use LinkedIn regularly for networking? I would love an opportunity to chat with you and maybe we can exchange business opportunities. So we started off with just asking a question about how they're using LinkedIn in hopes that that would start the conversation. The key is to get the conversation going. I'll give you another example. I had a client who's doing, it was a one-off and we were selling a very specific product, a quantity that she had. I sent over 200 connections and only one person actually responded to those connections. And it's because it was a sales connection note. We went for the hard sell. It's not something I recommend, but I do work with what my clients request. And that was a hard sell. You guys know that. What I want you to think about with anything that you're doing in social media, how would you respond? How would you respond when you see something come through your feed visually? How would you respond when you get certain types of messages to your inbox? Whatever your reactions are, I want you to think about your reactions and how you move forward with what you're physically doing in social media. Here's a little trick you can do to just give you a good idea if you have time. I know you guys are really busy and you're probably going to laugh at me with this one, but we all check our Facebook or our Instagram or our LinkedIn. Take that 10 minutes each morning that you're scrolling through your feeds. And every time you stop, just write down why you stopped on that post. What was it that attracted you to what that person posted? And if you do that for the week, do 10 minutes a day. At the end of the week, have a look at that list. It'll give you a good understanding of what attracts you to stop and read a post. And you can utilize that then to help come up with marketing ideas for yourself, right? So if I know me, I will, if you put a picture of you and it comes in my feed, I'm stopping. I stop on all photos of people. So that for me, I know that works well. So I would use actually in the time that I was doing my own marketing and getting my content out there, it was always me. I can't believe the amount of selfies I put out, the people I was with. There was people in the photos with me, right? I sold Tammy. I showed people where I was going, who I was seeing, where I was learning, who I was teaching, all of it. I showcased elements of what I did that built both business and personal. Okay. I wanted to talk about another tip on the ad. So something that most people don't realize, when you go to do an ad, whether it's a boosted post or a sponsored ad, nor it's defaulted that you will select a daily budget. Okay. So you might say, I want to spend $2 a day. The problem is that when you do a daily budget, you have zero control over when those posts, when the ad will show up in news feeds. Or I don't know if you know where ads go, but if you happen to play any games that you link through Facebook, the ads will show up in those games. The ads will show up in Messenger. The ads will show up in news feeds, right? So there's a few places those ads are going. So keep that in mind. You're not talking just news feeds. So you don't have control. And if let's say my total budget, I say I'm going to do $2 a day and I'm going to run it for 30 days. So it's a $60 budget. So Facebook will take the $2 and they'll spread it out throughout that day, throughout a 24-hour period. Here's the trick. If instead of a daily budget, you change it to lifetime budget for that ad, and I put the $60, soon as I choose lifetime, an option will pop up below and it says run ads on a schedule. And if you click that, you can now pick specifically which days of the week by hour when your ads should go out. So me personally, for my own ads, I never run my ads between midnight and 6 a.m. So therefore, my $60 is going to get in front of people when I believe people are going to see it. It's not going to be floating in the middle of the night and reaching people that are in other countries or wherever it might be, right? Because I do advertise right across, but you guys are more local. But you're not going to be hitting the middle of the night and losing your money. So think about that, okay? Not all the time can you do a lifetime budget. It will depend. But if that option where it says daily budget, just click the drop down with it and you should see lifetime budget and do that, okay? Take a little bit more control over how your money is being spread out and not being wasted, okay? There was one other thing I wanted to mention about ads though. I have to apologize. If you're not going to do a lead ad, the next best ad that I recommend is doing a carousel ad. I love carousel ads. It gives me a variety of visuals and I can write a specific headline under each visual. And there's a button under each visual. And do you know each one of those buttons, you can put wherever you want to drive them. So you don't always have to drive them to the same location. So if I was doing an ad and one of them was about my services, that button could have it going to my services section on my website. So carousel ads can be really great when it gives you a little bit more creativity and options as opposed to just one visual. Okay. Did I miss anything today? Oh my God. Any questions? I apologize because actually, Jen, I don't know if I missed anything today that I wanted to talk about.
I'll leave it open for questions. I actually did have one, if you
Yes.
could answer that.
I didn't even share screen. Oh my God, I didn't even do a share screen today.
That's okay.
I didn't.
It's okay. It's earlier in BC. We get it.
Wow.
So when you and I had talked recently, you had shared with me the hierarchy of what the algorithms like in terms of
Yes.
video all the way down to an image. Can you just spell that out for us nice
Yep.
and easy? I'll throw it in the chat.
Absolutely. So your first priority from an algorithm standpoint is live. So anytime you can go live, guys, and it doesn't have to be long. And here's the bonus. You go live. Once you're finished, you can then download it off of Facebook and you now have a recorded video. So then you can take that video and put it in LinkedIn or put it in your Instagram reels, right? Or drop it on your website, drop it on your YouTube. So whenever you go live, that video will always be available to download. So live is number one, then recorded video, then just visual, then visual with a caption. The one that will hinder you the most is when it's mostly words in the visual. I don't recommend that at all. I suggest to people in an ad situation, I would limit the number of written content. On a post, it depends. Depends on what the content is. So if I'm doing tips, I might not have a choice because the way I might develop the visual, because I don't know if you guys, how you create your content, but when you use platforms like Canva, you can create multiple slides and turn them into a video. I don't know if you know that. When I download it, it puts them all together and it creates a video. So now I've created a bunch of visuals, pictures I've taken, and now I have a video, which just knocked me up almost to the top because I made a video. But the reality is that you can, depending on what, if I'm doing something like tips, because I do work for this a real estate lady, and we do tips, and I will create the words on the slide, but I make an actual I'll do like 3 different slides. So I make it so it's clickable at that point. But it is the one that will hinder you the most is when you have too much text. Always keep in mind a caption is great, or less than 25% of the visual is text. Okay.
Yeah, we've noticed that even with our own social media, that this hierarchy is accurate. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's why video, and we don't have a choice moving forward. See, that video is not going to change. The video is just going to keep growing. So it'll always be at the top from an algorithm standpoint. And that's Instagram's the same, right? We know it's reels. If you're doing reels, it will give you, that's where the priority seems to be, right? So it's reels, then stories, then posts, right? So, and you can easily take whatever posts you've put out during the week, just go to the post in Instagram and you can share it right into your stories. So you don't even have to recreate. You can take something and get multiple use out of it. So that's really important to remember as well. Sometimes it doesn't have to be overwhelming. It is overwhelming because there's so much to manage, hence why people like us exist. But the reality is you can shave some of that time off just by taking something you've done in Facebook and converting it, right? Going, oh, I can download it now as a video and I'm going to use it in my reel on Instagram and maybe write something to go with. I don't know if you write. Yeah, you can write something to go with it. Sorry. Okay. So yeah, if anything, video. Number one. Does anyone have any questions for me? I know it's overwhelming. And in all honesty, what you guys even learned today is just like this small of portion of what you can do with social media. It's kind of crazy.
All good.
Yeah.
So I'm going to leave it open for another second or two. Does anyone have questions at all? No?
So one
Okay.
of the things that I did do that Megan will end up sharing with you, and she'll make sure you guys get it. I did create it's 25 post ideas. I did it in the form of a calendar. So I kind of did it. I figured if in case the month was 5 weeks. So I did 25 in total. And you can just keep using that over and over again. So I don't know if you want to bring that up for me, Megan. Sorry.
Sure.
So you guys will receive this in email. It's just a great way to help get you thinking outside the box with ideas. I'm just giving you a guide, and then from that you can build off of it. Let's see.
Just trying to bring it up here, sorry.
No, that's okay. So you can just keep reusing this, and you just change out the end result in essence. So the visual is really what it is. So let's see, oh,
Here we go.
there we go. So this is what it is. So, and I also threw in some hashtags. I tried to come up with a hashtag for each one of them. And believe it or not, I did do some research on the hashtags. There is some strategic things you do with hashtags. So I did that so that the hashtags you're going to be using in these, the numbers are fantastic, which means if you're using them in Instagram, you have a better chance of being seen than if you used a popular hashtag. So I kind of did some ideas where you can talk about, there's different tips. I talk about articles, getting out in the community, things like that. Okay. So like here, feature the community, the schools, the parks, the recreation, and I explain all of that. This will give you, oops. Oh, I can't scroll down. Can you scroll down? For
Yes,
me?
I can.
I'm sitting here trying to scroll down. And then I threw in some extra notes at the bottom for you as well. But this would guide you. You could utilize this for as long as you need, because each time you're looking at what I've recommended, it's just the same category, just different content. Okay, so you'll all be receiving this in email.
Yes.
Awesome.
Okay, Meg, do you mind taking that off the screen? I don't have a copy handy of what our packages, the sample pack, Tammy, that I sent you.
Oh, I do. I have it open.
Do you mind sharing
Yep.
that? I just want to show
I forgot
everybody
about that.
a
I
bit.
apologize too. Yeah.
That's okay.
So this is, oh, go ahead.
Okay. So this is just a sample of what our social media management package sort of looks like. So we manage social media profiles for our clients on a monthly basis. And it's these great high quality
These are
visuals that
fantastic.
the algorithms seem to love. They're real estate related and they're branded for you. You get to pick your colors and your fonts and all of that. And it by no means you don't post personal stuff. You really need to do that too. But this is a great way to supplement and have the base of what you should have on a professional page, and then to supplement with some personal shots as well.
Especially being real estate agents, you guys have to keep a professional level. There's no question about that, right? Very different than someone like me. So it is important. A best way to do it is go look at Instagram. I think Instagram's the best one to look visually at. Go look at real estate profiles. Go through a bunch of them and look and see what visually it looks like. Just, you don't need to read anything, just as you're scrolling. And it's really beautiful when you see something that looks professional, right? And has that consistency and has your brand. And I'll be honest with you. So for those that don't know, I'm new with the Elite team. So I'm going to give them kudos where kudos is deserved. They, with the content they're putting out, they've nailed it. They don't focus just on one main message. So they're giving you tips, or your audience, they're giving audience tips, they're doing quotes, they're asking questions, right? So it's really great visually what they're putting out for you and the content. And again, I'm new, so this is not my work, which I will continue doing the work that they are doing, but it gives you a good idea. Kudos, Jen, seriously, kudos. It looks really good. So I appreciate that.
Thanks.
From a
Tammy.
social media standpoint, I appreciate that. You have no idea.
I'm glad. Okay, if you don't mind stopping sharing, I'm going to share a promotion that we're going to give everyone today. So you're all going to get a copy of that calendar. And then I also want to share another promotion. Oh, share desktop. Oh, look at that. Okay, can everyone see that?
Yeah.
Okay.
You might want to make your screen bigger if you can.
This one?
Yeah, that. Yeah.
Okay.
That'll work.
Okay, good. So today we want to offer you, everybody, thank you for coming. We'd like to offer you something from each of our departments. So as Megan mentioned at the beginning, we have three main departments: photography, graphic design, and social media management. This is something you're going to get in an email later today or tomorrow, along with the recording. 15% off listing photography, and that's good for all listing and virtual tours as well. So if you've got one of those coming up, feel free to use this coupon. It's good until the end of fall, so December 21st. We've also got a $50 credit for our graphic design department, feature sheets, buyers and sellers guides, postcards, logos, whatever you need. We've got a credit that you can use toward that.
Nice.
And then, so that's also until December 21st. last one is 20% off social media management. And that offer is good just until the end of this week. So if you are interested in having Tammy manage your social media for you, please reach out to us and receive 20% off for that. So I'm going to stop sharing that screen. Good.
Awesome.
Okay. Does anyone have any more questions or anything? No, you're all on mute.
That's awesome.
Awesome. Okay. Well, thank you everybody for coming. We really appreciate it.
Thank you
Yes,
guys
thank
for
you.
coming. I appreciate it too. And I look forward to seeing some of you guys in the future.
Thanks, Tammy.
Thanks,
Bye,
Tammy.
guys.
Take care.
Bye.